Instagram has been down for days and days and days. First, it went down, it came back. Then it went down again, it came back again. Meta had the same issue. And then now the US is talking about banning TikTok. So, in this episode, I want to talk to you about how to build and grow your business online no matter what is happening with Instagram or with TikTok. So, welcome back to another episode of the Keenya Kelly podcast, where we talk about all things business, marketing your business, and having a balanced life. Today, we are having a conversation about what in the world is going on with Instagram and what in the world is going on with TikTok, but more importantly, about what you should do when it comes to your business, marketing your business, and making sure that you're not like subject to whatever happens with their platforms. So I wrote down 7 things that I want to talk to you about when it comes to how to grow and build your business no matter what's happening on social media. So we all know that, Meta went down a couple of weeks ago. I personally had thought that my account got hacked because I was using the airport Wi-Fi because I was traveling, and I tried over and over and over again and changed my password and all the things. And then an hour later, it came back, and I was so shocked. And then so was the entire world. Then when we saw that the US government says, okay, we are, on stage 2 of banning TikTok, and we're all just like, oh shoot, we were not planning on seeing that or experiencing that. Then we all started to experience like a glitch with Instagram, and then another glitch, and then another glitch, and then it went down, and then it's banning a bunch of accounts, and all these different things are happening. And all of us that love those platforms are kind of like, freaking out a little bit, as well as those of us that are using those platforms to build a community, market to our community, and, build our businesses. We are finding ourselves like in this kind of like situation. Now, for the marketers that, love, building email lists and text message systems and things of that nature, many of us aren't as concerned, but we still have our concerns because we utilize this on a regular basis. And so I've come up with 7 different things that I feel like you need to do no matter what happens with Instagram Reels or Instagram and TikTok. So the first thing you have to do is you have to identify where your audience is, okay? Where is your audience? And I want you to look at where are they in all the different places. If you are targeting a certain demographic, are they on Facebook? Are they on YouTube? Do they listen to podcasts? Do they watch online summits? Are they networking? Are they at where are they? Okay, because this big thing that is happening with these 2 platforms, we know our audience is there, but where are they otherwise? And not just social media. Where are they otherwise, period? Are they watching TV? Are they watching, are they on other apps like Clapper and all the other things? Like, do they spend a lot of their time watching news stations and political things? Find out where is your audience. This means you're going to have to do a little bit more of a deep dive than what you probably normally do. But this is going to be super valuable so that moving forward in your business that you could diversify your marketing efforts and not just do it all in one place. Like, ask yourself, are they on LinkedIn? You know what I mean? Like, because there's so many different things you can do to connect with your community. The second thing you want to do is you want to choose ways that you want to connect with your audience outside of social media. Not that here are all these things that are out there that I'm going to list a little bit later, but how do you want to connect with your audience? Because here's the deal. Right now you're connecting with them using Instagram and TikTok and things of that nature, but you have got to figure out like what is going to work best for you. If you do not want to do a bunch of podcast interviews, then that's not going to be the place where you want to reach your audience. If you don't want to create long form content like this video, then YouTube is not going to be your place. But ask yourself the question, where are you willing to show up to connect with your audience? And the third thing that I talk about all the time here on YouTube and on the podcast is all about email marketing. Listen, every single person we know on the face of the earth has an email address. Now, some people may check it more than others, but everybody we know has an email address. And so I strongly encourage that while you are choosing how you're going to spend your time, invest your time, that you are choosing email marketing as one of those places. Like, you got to choose email marketing as one of those places. I know me personally, most of the revenue that we generate for our business comes through email. Okay, so we have people reach out to us wanting to collaborate with partnerships and interviews. We also reach out to people and sell our products and services using email marketing. Okay, now every time I talk about email marketing, people feel like, well, nobody's reading email. That's not true. Or email marketing is complicated. And here's what I'll say about the complication. Everything is complicated when you are first getting started, okay? Everything is complicated when you are first getting started. So it is very important that while you are like choosing to invest in email, that you got to give yourself time. You've got to be intentional and you've got to be consistent, okay? Because anything is complicated at first, but if you continue going every single day, week, month, whatever, in 6 months, you're going to see how email is not as hard as it used to be. When I first got started on email, in like 2016, oh my God, it was like the worst thing I'd ever experienced in my life. Fast forward 8 years later, I do not feel that way about email, but I had to choose to learn email 8 years ago. I had to choose to be consistent with learning email and then to where I am today, where it's not as complicated for me. The fourth thing you want to do is you want to choose how you can connect with other people's communities, okay? Because the thing is that other people are creating communities in lots of different places. Some people have like membership communities that are not connected on social media. Other people have YouTube channels, they have podcasts, they have in-person events, online events, all the different things. You know, I remember when I first started teaching TikTok, everybody was inviting me to speak and teach on their podcast. And what that did was that brought me in front of so many people that I just could not have gotten in front of. I mean, I could not have gotten myself in front of those people, but I got there because I was teaching and I kept saying yes to being on all these different shows, sharing what it is that I had to offer to their communities. And so I want to encourage you that if you already know that you know people with communities here, and here, and even on their socials while they're active, you know, I would say invite yourself to speak, teach in all those places. You know, I don't think you have to say yes to all of them. I think you should say yes to those that align with you, but it's a really great way to build an audience of people using other people's audiences. You know, sometimes I will say yes to speaking at an online summit for free. If I'm able to tell them to come follow me on Instagram, on TikTok, on LinkedIn, or whatever, and I'll get 100, 200, or however many new people to connect with me, all from a 40-minute presentation, whereas that could take me a while to gather, you know, as I'm creating content on social for people to follow me that quickly, okay? So I would say use what other people have built by sharing what it is that you've got. The next thing you can do is you can use in-person events. Now, I know that we're in the day and age where COVID, people are so used to like being at home and not being out with people, but in-person events are everything still. It's just that you've got to get out of your bubble and go out to those events. I know recently I decided to go to Podcast Movement's meetup here in San Diego, and I mentioned it to a friend and she said, oh yeah, I'm going. I was like, okay, great. So we go to this event and the founder is there, which we don't really know each other that well, but I knew who he was, you know, and they offered free tickets to everybody in the community to go to their podcast conference in LA. And so I didn't have intention to go. We were like, well, we're going to go. So we shut down our businesses for 3 days and we went out to LA. Met some of the most fantastic people, partnered with a bunch of different people, actually got picked up by a podcast network. And now I'm working on a year-long contract with a company that I have been trying to reach out to for a few months, and we reconnected at the conference. And so like, it's a whole nother level of things that is happening all because I decided to go to in-person events. And so I'm not saying you got to go to all of them, but I would be very intentional and strategic with the conferences that have your audience in mind and figure out how you can go to them and maybe even speak at them. The sixth thing, and I mentioned a little bit earlier, is online events, okay? Online events are great because you're at home, you don't have to go anywhere, okay? All you have to do is set up your lights, have your camera going, and then have a microphone, and you're able to do that, right? And I'm talking about you teaching and speaking at online events. Now, I don't say yes to all of those either because time is time, right? But I do speak at them often, and I will, have my slides ready, and I will do a little bit of promotion for them on social media, and then I will teach and do what it is that I do, teaching to the community. Now, here are hundreds and thousands of people that did not know that I existed until I showed up. Okay. And so that's a really great way to grow a business and grow a community without letting social media be the way that you do it. And then the last and final thing is, if we're talking about the glitches with Instagram and TikTok, listen, you can focus all in on Facebook, you can focus all in on YouTube, and you can go all in on LinkedIn, and you can significantly grow your business. Does YouTube usually take longer to grow than all the others? Yes, but is it a worthwhile thing to invest in? Absolutely, because YouTube is owned by Google, like one of the biggest boys in the game, and so we don't typically see challenges as it pertains to Google and YouTube, all right? But also, we don't really hear about any of this stuff when it comes to LinkedIn, right? And LinkedIn is no longer just a place to go to when you are trying to find a job or you're trying to hire someone. It's the place where people are investing time and energy, and they're connecting and networking and all the things. I know today, earlier this week, I saw someone who was over influencer partnerships for this big company, and she was talking on the platform, and I just decided to follow her. And so then today she was talking about influencer marketing, how she's trying to do deals with some of these creators, and she's not hearing from them. And then she posted a video from TikTok, and I just went and watched the video, followed her, commented, and then I looked in the comments and saw somebody said, "Hey, I would love to partner with you. How do I connect?" And she put her direct email in the comments. Guess what I did? I copied that email and I sent her an email this morning, and I'm going about my day, right? So like, huge opportunity that was right there on LinkedIn that could help me to grow my business that had nothing to do with Instagram and nothing to do with TikTok. So if you want to be able to build your business and grow your business and have nothing to do with Instagram or TikTok, then it is really important for you to be very intentional and strategic, and then also be consistent. Now, if you are watching this and you're like, but I still want to be there on Instagram and TikTok, I'm over the glitches. Listen, I love them too, and I ain't going nowhere. Then I want to invite you. We have my group coaching program, which is live. It is called the Vertical Video Mastery Course, and this course is designed to teach you how to use Instagram and TikTok to grow an audience, grow an email list, and ultimately increase your revenue times 10. That is the goal of the course. And so it is currently open. The content is pre-recorded, but I am live with you for 2 straight months, coaching you every single day. And it's open right now. You can join us for just $175 this month if you want to join us, but we are closing this week. Okay. So you can go to verticalvideomastery.com, or the link is also in the show notes and in our description to learn all about it. But again, you can join this month for $175. Okay. So I look forward to seeing you on the inside of the course. And so thank you so much for listening and watching.